Good afternoon, Flosstube. Pam, stitching between the lines. Today is Wednesday, July 29th, 2020. It's my 82nd video, and the sun went away. My last video, I don't really feel the need to apologize for anything, but people commented on the lighting and the sound. So I'm not really sure. I've looked to figure out how I can alter the sound that you hear. I hear it just fine when I play it back, so my iPad is recording it and playing it at a volume that seems to work. So I don't really know. I know somebody talked about once that they altered the sound that their music lead-in was at because the volume was so incompatible with their video volume, but I can't find anywhere how I can alter my recorded volume. I have to pause you for a minute. Sorry about that interruption. A little cat issue there. So anyway, we talked about the day. We talked about the sun went away. Oh, last video. Okay. I don't know what to do about the sound. I try. I don't know. The lighting, again, everybody struggles because, lighting every day of the week isn't created equal. I had recorded on a different surface. I'm in the same room. I had scooted forward about 3 feet and put my iPad on my cutting mat because I have a new case and it doesn't prop the same way. So I had the light that's overhead that like illuminates, the quilt so nicely behind me, was behind me instead of more overhead. So I'm scooted back. I have added, here we are. Hopefully the light's good. Anyway, stuff. I had hoped to record when I had some additional things to show you, but everything's taking longer than you expect, and the month is changing, and I have my week, 1 week at a time, working on whips is going to get out of hand, and I'm not going to remember anything if I don't make a video now. But I do need to take care of a detail that I neglected in a prior video. I had, on the video, I don't know, Kim of Barbara's daughter. She's a relatively new floss tuber. I met Kim and Barbara both last fall at the Frugal Empire retreat. We sat at the same table, visited, chatted, got to know each other, and Kim started making videos. Kim is Barbara's daughter, and as explained by the name, in her video, she explains how she came up with that name. So you'll have to go watch her video and see that. She makes a video about once a week, and she stitches. She's a prolific stitcher, as she's home on the work at home program, where she has a lot more time at home than usual. But anyway, you should go check her out and see what you see. And anyway, I sent her a pattern, and she sent me a thank you. And I neglected to thank her publicly on Flosstube, as I should, because these are adorable. She sent me 2 different packs of floss drops, which I love to use these. And she also sent me one of these that you can put on the back of a piece of work. I believe, somebody will tell me who makes these, because I don't remember, or if it's just on Etsy. I really think somebody makes these, somebody that makes Flosstube. I love it. I'm contemplating which piece I'll put it on. I have a couple that are absolutely beautiful. I mean, a lot of things are beautiful, but I have 2 that are just, I could never reproduce, like Lila Studios Let Freedom Ring. There's that one. And Christmas Quaker 2. I always forget who that's by. That escapes me, but that piece hangs year round, and they're just beautiful. So I will use this with love. Thank you, Kim. So anyway, let's rehash a little bit. My basic plan after Mania has been to work on projects for 1 week at a time, and through June I worked on things that needed less than a week, and I finished a bunch of stuff, which we have talked about last video. In this video, let me me see. I worked on between, sorry. We'll edit. There's been editing, by the way, in case it looked smooth and seamless. There's been editing. Apparently, I'm having a little problem today forming sentences. I showed that I had worked on Paula Vaughn's July, which is Paula Vaughn's Sal that I'm doing on Instagram. So you can go check that out. And then for another week, I worked on July by Prairie Schooler. And if I have a picture, I'll put it here of where it was when I started. So I worked for a week and then I put it aside, although it's summertime. We live in a summer vacation-y kind of place, and so my kids come and things like that, and we do a lot on the weekends as much as we can, living our stay-at-home kind of life. But we're outside a lot, so I'm not stitching really on the weekends. And so this one got worked on for about 5 days, I think, and then I picked it up one evening and worked on it. That's in the evening I did some words. That's all I got done. So it's coming right along. I am going to move this from my spot where I keep all my big whips into my box of whips that should take less than a week. So that's a real upgrade. So that was a July week, and I may be able to do a little more. I can work on this one without a magnifier. I can just put on cheater glasses and work on it. So that's one reason why it got worked on one evening. My girls and I were watching a movie in a different location than where my magnifier lives. So that's why I worked on that. And then, excuse me, this was a Mania start. This was what I worked on last week. Flag Folk by Not Forgotten Farm. I bought it in Spring Green. Why that name escapes me is beyond me, because everybody loves that store. Country Sampler in Spring Green. And I got I bought the pattern in their conversion. They had converted it, so I can't tell you what I'm using, but except the fabric is murky by Picture This Plus. Oops, there were more threads in there than I knew in the rolled up Flag Folk. It's really fun. During Mania, the only thing that I had completed was this green thing. And so in about 5 days of stitching is about all this got. And a lot of unstitching. I don't know. Here's the thing. It's easy, like the vine I goofed on and the top border on the little pennies, like I goofed on those and I unstitched it all and I redid it, and I could have not done it that way, but I just felt like it was such an easy fix. I couldn't just ignore it. This is also, I believe, going into the bin of it needs less than a week. So that's a pretty, another step up in a project. I only worked on this for 5 days. Did I say that? I really didn't stitch hardly at all. Maybe it would add up to as much as 6 days, but I don't really think so. Very little weekend stitching. So, oops, I must put the threads in before catastrophe happens. And then this week, I just couldn't really bring myself to commit to another full week on a large whip. So I went into my it needs less than a week bin, and I pulled out Winter, which was also a Mania start. Sometime I had like the brown done of the vines and maybe 2 words from Mania, and then some evening I picked it up and put in a couple more words, and then I picked it up again on Monday, and this is how far I've gotten. I expect maybe today or tomorrow at the latest to be able to finish it. So coming along. I don't know what I'll do if I finish it before the week is out. It's hard to say. I don't know. I haven't really settled on what big projects I will do for each week in August. Some of it's just going to be whatever I feel like. I think I am enjoying a week on projects. It makes a dent in them, but it's not so long that I feel like I'm neglecting everything else, which that's one of the things that sometimes when I have so many whips and I really commit myself to a big project, I always feel neglectful. So that's really about it. I'm trying to get an FFO or two done, and I've took some framing in, so I was hoping to have that soon. So anyway, that'll give me something to show you in a later video. One other thing I forgot to mention in a prior video, because I didn't take notes, was a new cross-stitch store has opened in my area. I've heard Flosstubers talk about it. I haven't been to it. They have shopped at it because they find it, they find online. It is not far from the cross-stitch store where I get my framing done, and that's a store that's been in business for a lot of years. I think as long as I've lived in the Rochester area, it's been there, and that's been 32 years. So it doesn't really have an online presence. That's not really her thing. I think shop owners, sometimes it's hard to make that transition into a whole different system of sales that is outside your normal comfort zone, I guess. And she does beautiful framing. The framing shop is fabulous. I do shop there. I feel like if I go into a new shop is like cheating on my other LNS, which I know, I feel terrible. But anyway, I have not been to it, but it's Hobby House Needleworks, and it is in a suburb of Rochester. So, as is the other one, is in another nearby suburb. And there's a little shop in Canandaigua. I haven't been in that one in a number of years. I don't know what to say. It has a small-ish, it used to be, back years and years ago, it was primarily cross-stitch, and I think with some needlepoint. She has hand-painted canvases and the kind of flosses and fibers you would need for that, as does the one in East Rochester where I get my framing. Now, the store in Canandaigua, I would say roughly half of it is knitting and yarns, which is fine. You need to diversify to keep yourself in business. It's in one of the old storefronts on Main Street in Canandaigua, and so it's cute, but I don't make my way in there. I don't know. It's the reality of when we shop, what we're looking for and the experience we're looking for. So anyway, at any rate, the whole point of this is there's a new store, and she does have an online presence, and she's Hobby House Needleworks, hobbyhouseneedleworks.com, and it's in a cute little place of shops in a really cute little town outside Rochester, but you could almost come here and like have a shop hop. That is like unheard of anymore for cross stitch. So as long as all three stores stay in existence, you could come here and have a shop hop. Isn't that something? I don't even know where else you could do that. So I feel lucky. I will get to the new shop sooner or later. We're not really going out and doing that kind of stuff right now. So having an online presence is a good thing to carry them along. So anyway, I hope everybody has a great Wednesday, a great rest of your week. It's turning over into August. So I hope all go. More editing. There's been more editing. I don't know. Back to the can't make sentences. So anywho, happy stitching, everybody. Bye.